So, Jim, it is really good to be with you again. A biggest and most important question I've got is about this upcoming TechCon conference in my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, Buckhead, best place. I mean, that's the night spot where my wife and I go to have dinner,
That's right.
just to have dinner. We don't do the nightclubs there, but it's quite an amazing part of the city. So we're really looking forward to it. It's at the Grand Hyatt, great hotel, really recently refurbished, or else I don't think we could afford it. But anyway, let's talk about the TechCon conference as a whole. What do you value most about past conferences? You've been doing it a good while.
Yes. I'm on the planning committee, and we strive to get a good full agenda, but it covers a lot of different areas. So we try to not focus on one particular segment of our industry, but rather a variety of topics. And so the three major areas I would say are advanced technology, new technologies, training and tutorials would be a second one. And then what I would call the usual bread and butter of substation and equipment operation. But so in the past, for instance, we have we've done we had a vendor present a new development. It's a under oil robot. Basically, it's a device you can put inside the transformer tank and inspect it without draining the oil and trying to get inside. So that was interesting. We had last year we had a panel and a bunch of presentations on wildfire mitigation, which is a big issue for those of us west of the Mississippi. I think it's becoming a bigger issue throughout the country, but it was very, very timely. We had some major contributors from various utilities talking about their approaches and their risks. So that was extremely valuable. And then we had our usual tutorials on transformer fundamentals and gas and oil analysis and things of that. So we kind of hit all three of those pillars very well, I thought. And that means that anybody that comes is going to find topics that are of great interest to them sometime during the conference.
And it's interesting, it's sponsored by and all the heavy lifting is done by TJH2B. And yet, I would say 90% of the conference doesn't have anything to do with oils and fluids or testing. It does
Yes.
have to do with practical applications for a substation management, maintenance, upscale. So that's a great answer. That is the value of the conference. Let's talk about the one, my new favorite, the one in Atlanta, Georgia, in
Yeah.
March this year, my hometown. You've been part of the planning process where we put up on the walls, I might add, all of the different topics. I'm still amazed that Herm is able to suddenly distill those down. I've been part of the planning committee too, and I see what we've come up with in terms of tutorial, in terms of papers, in terms of panels, and the networking section. Talk about this upcoming conference and what excites you the most about that.
Yeah, again, we've got a variety of topics, a variety of different interest levels. I would say we've got really good panels. We've got a panel and papers talking about emergency preparations and safety protocols. It's
Uh,
basically focusing on grid resiliency. So that's not one person presenting a paper, but it's a panel or multiple papers with people showing different outlooks. So that's really good. We have a gassing patterns for wind turbine transformers, which has been a big issue in the past. So we're trying to kind of not new breakthroughs, but kind of a historical background and a state of the art that we're in right now. There's a plenary session, which is going to be excellent. There's several good speakers in there. One of them is talking about high voltage emerging technologies, new stuff coming on the market. Southern Company is going to be in that plenary session, and they're going to talk about their philosophy of load growth with a mixture of solar and nuclear, which I think is a very
wow.
forward thinking approach, and great to see them contributing to that. And then we're going to have, as we usually do, there's in resolving dissolved gas and oil analysis, there's a guy named Michel Duval from Canada who's basically the industry leader,
Yeah.
and he's going to be doing his discussion of advancements in DGA interpretation. He's always got new stuff and new ways of thinking about it, and it's always very, very valuable.
I know we went from the Duval triangle to the Duval pentagram, or what
Right.
pentagon was going now, and the next one is going to be some form of three-dimensional
Yeah,
Duval. He
that's
really is.
exactly.
He really is the leading expert in the industry. But what else about the upcoming conference, if anything?
We're expecting and a good mixture of attendance. That's the other value of the conference beyond the sessions themselves. It's between the breaks and lunches and dinners and everything, people exchanging ideas. We have utility engineers, we have industrial people, technical contributors and vendors. It's a non-commercial kind of thing where everybody's talking and sharing ideas and exchanging viewpoints, sometimes heatedly, but very a really good view of what people are thinking for the future. So I'm always excited to see that mixture.
I love the heatedly, because I do. People do get in their corners, but they're actually in the same. They're all trying to help each other, right?
Yes.
Everybody walks away. One of the things I love about the conference is people like you come, Jim. You come, you are either part of a panel or presentation, and then you take. It's not like we have people just come in and drop and then leave. It's a collective of minds working together. And I think everybody grows and leaves with something that they didn't come with. And that's the important part about it. Relationships, knowledge, practical application that you can use now. That's what it's
Yes.
all about.
Well
Anyway,
said. Very good summary.
Jim, thank you so much. I appreciate this time, and we will see you in March in Atlanta.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.